The hospital hallway was filled with the quiet hum of machines and the soft smell of antiseptic when a scream shattered the calm. Nurses froze. Visitors turned. No one expected violence in a place meant for healing, especially not against a pregnant woman clutching her stomach in fear. What followed that day would change several lives forever. Not because of anger or revenge, but because of a single, unexpected act of kindness that no one saw coming. Before we begin this story, take a moment to support Kindness Diaries. If stories about compassion, second chances, and the good hidden inside difficult moments speak to you, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps these stories reach hearts that need them. The story begins with Emily Carter, 7 months pregnant, sitting on a hospital bed with her hands resting gently on her belly. She was nervous but hopeful. This was supposed to be a routine checkup. Her husband, Mark, had promised to meet her there after work, but he was running late again. Emily tried not to think too much about that. Lately, she had learned how to sit with disappointment quietly. Emily had been married to Mark for 5 years. The early years were filled with laughter and shared dreams, but somewhere along the way, things changed. Mark became distant. He stayed late at work. His phone was always face down. Emily sensed something was wrong, but she was tired, pregnant, and afraid of the truth. Down the hall, another woman stormed into the maternity wing. Her name was Rachel. She was sharp-eyed, furious, and shaking with emotion. Rachel was Mark's mistress, though Emily didn't know her yet. Rachel had just discovered that Mark's wife was pregnant, something he had hidden from her for months. He had told Rachel that his marriage was over. That he was free. That there was no baby. Seeing Emily's name on the hospital board felt like betrayal cutting through Rachel's chest. Rage took over reason. Without stopping to think, Rachel marched into Emily's room. Emily looked up, confused, just as Rachel grabbed a fistful of her hair and screamed accusations she barely understood. The room exploded into chaos. Emily cried out, protecting her stomach with one arm as nurses rushed in. Security was called. Rachel was pulled away, still yelling, tears streaming down her face. Emily was shaken, trembling, and terrified. Her first words weren't angry. They were panicked. She kept asking if her baby was okay. Doctors examined her immediately. Thankfully, the baby was safe. Emily, however, was emotionally wrecked. She didn't know who that woman was or why she hated her so much. All she knew was that something in her life had just broken open. Later that evening, Mark finally arrived. His face went pale when he saw the security report and heard Rachel's name. The truth spilled out in fragments. The affair. The lies. The double life. Emily listened quietly as the world she trusted collapsed around her. Mark admitted that he had been seeing Rachel for over a year. He claimed he never meant for things to go this far. Emily didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She just felt tired, deeply tired, in a way that reached her bones. Rachel, meanwhile, sat alone in a small hospital office, her anger fading into shame. What she had done finally sank in. She had attacked a pregnant woman. She had crossed a line she could never erase. For the first time, she wasn't thinking about Mark. She was thinking about the baby she might have harmed. A nurse brought Rachel some water and spoke gently to her, even though she didn't have to. That small kindness broke Rachel more than any harsh word could have. She began to cry, not from rage this time, but from regret. The next morning, something unexpected happened. Emily asked to see Rachel. The staff was hesitant, but Emily insisted. When Rachel walked into the room, she couldn't look Emily in the eye. She expected yelling, insults, maybe even legal threats. Instead, Emily spoke softly. "I don't know what pain you're carrying," Emily said, "but I know what it feels like to be lied to. I know what it feels like to love someone who doesn't tell the truth." Rachel finally looked up, stunned. Emily didn't excuse what she had done. She didn't pretend it was okay. But she also didn't hate her. Then Emily said something that no one expected. "This baby," she said, placing a hand on her belly, "is not Mark's." The room went silent. Emily explained that years earlier, she had been diagnosed with infertility. After many painful conversations, she and Mark had agreed to use a donor. Mark struggled with the idea and slowly pulled away emotionally. He never bonded with the pregnancy because he felt ashamed of his distance and weakness. Instead of talking to Emily, he ran towards someone who made him feel powerful again. The baby's father was a kind, anonymous donor who had wanted nothing but to help someone start a family. There was no betrayal in that choice. Only hope. Rachel felt the ground shift beneath her. Everything she thought she knew was wrong. Her anger had been built on assumptions and lies told by a man who couldn't face his own failures. Emily looked at Rachel and said, "I don't want my child to be born into a world where hate is the first lesson. I want kindness to be stronger than anger." Those words changed Rachel. She broke down completely, apologizing over and over. Emily listened. She didn't interrupt. She didn't push her away. In that moment, kindness did something punishment never could. It forced truth into the open. Mark was confronted with the damage he had caused. Emily made it clear that she needed space and time. She chose herself and her child over saving a broken marriage. Mark eventually agreed to counseling, not to win Emily back, but to finally face his choices. Rachel left the hospital that day a different person. She ended the relationship with Mark and began therapy to confront her own pain and jealousy. Months later, she wrote Emily a letter, thanking her for responding with grace instead of hate. Emily wrote back, wishing her healing. When Emily's baby was born, the delivery room was calm and full of light. Nurses smiled. The baby cried loudly, healthy and strong. Emily held her child and felt something powerful settle in her heart. Peace.